I've always wanted to try and be a 200-foot player. So, Sean Monahan, when I was like growing up from, major bantam, minor midget, my coach would always say, watch him. So Hockey Night in Canada would come on and I'd stay up late, watch Sean Monahan, watch, face off, hit him, take face offs, him in his defensive zone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Underrated Podcast, the podcast where we talk to you about everything sports and bring you more and more guests each week. Now, for this week, we have an OHL player, another OHL player from the Flint Firebirds. That's two now. Two players from the Flint Firebirds. He's a centerman. He was drafted 12th overall in the 2017 OHL draft. He was the 2017 recipient of Tyler Toffoli's Top Prospect Award. He was a member of the U17 Canada White Squad and the GTHL Team Blue of the OHL Gold Cup in 2017. And in the 2019-2020 season with the Flint Firebirds, he notched 58 points in 63 games. Cody Morgan, thank you so much for coming on.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Now, how you doing? How are you doing kind of in this whole pandemic where hockey, you're not really playing hockey, you're just kind of starting off training camp? How you doing?
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but, bigger things in life than hockey sometimes. So, you just got to try and take it day by day and be prepared for whenever that message comes that you guys are starting. So right now we got February 4th start date. So I'm just trying to get myself ready for that day.
And we are super excited to talk to you. Like I said, this is our second person of the Flint Firebirds lineup. The prospect, Chaz Nixon, we talked to on our actually very first guest episode 6. Shout out Chaz, by the way, for watching this. I feel like we're just going to get the entire Firebirds lineup on here at some point, because I feel like we're just kind of going down the list of all these stars on the Firebirds. We're just kind of going down the list. But for the people that don't really know who you are based off the intro, could you kind of explain who you are as a person and how you kind of play with the Firebirds and your play style?
Yeah, I'm a pretty outgoing guy. I just try and, be myself. I'd like to think I'm a pretty funny guy. I like to keep it pretty loose out there, just try and, do my thing. I like to think of myself as more of a skill guy. So I just try and, use my skill as best as I can and try and help my team win every night. So.
That's awesome. And, you said you're a pretty funny guy. Can we hear your best joke or pun that you have? The best one you have?
Oh.
We'll kind of judge it based off how funny the joke is.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really have anything. I'm usually kind of good at like one-liners. So it'd have to be like someone saying something to me and then that's about it. I can kind of come up with stuff on the top of my head based off of other things. But besides that, like, jokes, I don't really have too much. So
do you have like a specific moment where you got the entire bench or the entire dressing room laughing at whoever you were talking to?
Yeah, like if they were talking about something, maybe I missed the net or something, then I just yell like, I just suck at hockey, and then everyone would start cracking up. So I just try and keep it loose. That's really about it. So
you're not really kind of like gunning down your teammates. You're kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, it was my fault. And everybody laughs at you.
Yeah, I don't really like to get on anyone about it. We're human, we make mistakes, so that's really about it.
And so you grew up in Maple, Ontario, just outside of Vaughan, or I guess it's in Vaughan, and actually just down the road from Canada's Wonderland. Every 10-year-old's dream is to live down the street from Canada's Wonderland. But how did you spend your time, like sports-wise, growing up?
I liked other sports. I played other sports. I was always trying to get in as many sports as I could, elementary school all the way through high school. You were only allowed to be on one team per, I guess it was like spring, summer, fall. So winter, you're only allowed to be on one team. So I try and get at least one team in on each of them. So fall I do cross country from 4 to 8, and then summer I do like volleyball. If there was volleyball, winter I'd be on the hockey team, and then I don't know, whatever other team we had, maybe like badminton. I played badminton, but that's about it. And then I really liked volleyball, and then in high school I got into baseball, so I played baseball from 9 to 12, and I caught as a catcher from then, and I loved it. So I used to play baseball in the summer when I was a kid, from transitioning from baseball to hockey. So I love baseball. So that's, yeah.
And you had a hockey team in elementary school? I don't hear that too often.
Yeah, we did. It wasn't around, and then we played in 7 and 8. So we didn't make it anywhere in my grade 7 year, but in grade 8 we won the whole thing. We went 6-0 and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, I only hear hockey teams in like high school. I mean, our high school obviously has a hockey team that's not playing, but I've never heard of an elementary school hockey team.
Yeah. We were
I was
really
the
lucky.
one that. Yeah, I was about to say I was one of the behind the scenes guys on that hockey team that Braden was mentioning. So that's how I kind of know about that. But otherwise than that, it's kind of rare to see a true true elementary school hockey team.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, were there kind of any roadblocks along your journey into developing into a pro hockey player, or did you find a way to move around them?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Like were there any issues growing up? Like any roadblocks between you felt like you didn't want to play anymore, and how did you kind of maneuver around those problems as like growing up, developing as a hockey player?
Yeah, I don't really think I had too many problems. My parents were really supportive with anything that I really wanted to do. So regardless if it was hockey or just life, they were, they always wanted me to be my best. And maybe a couple games here and there, I wouldn't have the best game. My parents would get on me because they know, how good I could have been, or if I took a couple shifts off, my dad would get on me. But besides that, they were really supportive. They always have been supportive, always are supportive. So I don't really think I've had any problems outside of that. Nothing really. No, my parents have been, they've meant the world to me. So they've helped me through a lot, and they've always been supportive, always had my back. So
that's amazing.
Nice. So who did you kind of idolize growing up, or who did you kind of base your play off of?
It's been like a rotation of players. I've always wanted to try and be a 200-foot player. So, Sean MONAHAN, when I was like growing up from, major bantam, minor midget, my coach would always say, watch him. So Hockey Night in Canada would come on, and I'd stay up late, watch Sean MONAHAN, watch, him take face-offs, him in his defensive zone. And then I started liking Johnny Gaudreau, even though I don't play anything like him. Just to watch him was really cool. And then now, I don't know about idolizing, but my favorite player would be Austin Matthews by far.
Okay, so you're a Leafs fan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, makes sense. And all three of those players are all superstars, all stars. So I mean, it's not rare to see any kid growing up liking Johnny Gaudreau or Austin Matthews or Sean MONAHAN. Like it's not that rare that you see that.
Yeah. It's also interesting that he kind of got the nickname Johnny Hockey, which is a pretty interesting nickname for a hockey player.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it tells you what his play style is like.
Yeah. Exactly. So could you kind of take us through the days before the 2017 OHL draft and how you were feeling into it and after you were drafted?
Yeah, I didn't really know where I was going to go. I kind of woke up and just was like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. You still have to make the team and play. So, yeah, I was pretty confident that I was going to go in the first round, leading up to it anyways. I had a lot of calls from different teams. So yeah, I was pretty confident I was going to go in the first round, but there were so many good players in that draft that, I just I had no idea. So it was kind of up in the air regardless of what happened. So.
That's awesome. And so once you were drafted 12th overall to the Firebirds, did you feel like all the hard work that you built up from being a kid to now the OHL draft had paid off, or was there still something in mind that you haven't accomplished that you would want to?
Yeah, I got drafted to Kingston, the Frontenacs.
Oh yeah, sorry,
So,
the Frontenacs. Then you got, and then you got,
yeah,
then you went to
yeah,
Windsor,
it was,
and then you went to yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. It was like a kind of relief, you know. It was a lot of stress, you know. The minor midget year, it's a big year for the draft and all that. So even leading up to it, I was just kind of, you know, trying to just play my best hockey, trying to do whatever I could to help my team win. And but yeah, after the draft, it was just kind of a big relief. Like as soon as my name got called, it was just like a big exhale. So, you know, it was an honor to get drafted, you know, that high to such a good organization. And yeah, definitely a big relief. Definitely.
And then you went from Kingston to Windsor, and then you went from Windsor to Flint, which is what I forgot about reading about you on Elite Prospects. So I apologize about that, but you did get drafted from Kingston and then traded to Windsor, and then Windsor to Flint now.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, we're all corrected now. But 2017 was a pretty packed year for you. You know, obviously winning Tyler Toffoli's Top Prospect Award, being named on Canada's U17 team, and the OHL Gold Cup. Was that sort of part of the process of developing as a pro player, or was that you had that set for you, and then that was what you were going to do, or was that just kind of trusting the process?
Yeah. Just kind of trusting the process, really. You know, it was a long year that year. You know, my team became 8th in GTHL play. So I think we went like 10, 13, and 9 or something. We had like 9 ties. It was crazy. But yeah, so I went from that, and then got drafted, went to rookie camp, you know, met a lot of new faces there. And then, you know, a couple months later, I was out in Dawson Creek, meeting more new faces, and, you know, dealing with coaches that have been there, you know. So yeah, it was a really good experience, all that, you know, getting drafted to Kingston and all that. So going to Gold Cup, another good tournament. So yeah, it was a really good experience. You know, 2017 was a really good year, and just kind of tried to build off that.
And then just last year, you got the opportunity to train with the Detroit Red Wings on the NHL, obviously, which, you know, building up all your accomplishments on your resume. Do you see yourself cracking the NHL lineup in the future? Again, obviously with the experience with the Red Wings.
You know, I'm just trying to go day by day, really. Not trying to get too high or too low. Just trying to better myself every day. You know, I'm not really trying to focus on the future. Just trying to stay in the moment. You know, just trying to better myself every day when I can, and just trying to build up to, you know, the season, and then just try and show who I am and see if I can, you know, turn some heads.
That's awesome.
So what would you kind of bring to the NHL team that decides to give you that opportunity?
I think I'm very skilled. I think I see the ice very well. I have really good vision, and I have the ability to make players around me better. So yeah, that's probably all.
And if you went to the NHL and got the opportunity to play against a guy like Sean Monahan or Johnny Gaudreau or Austin Matthews, would that kind of be like surreal to you that you grew up growing up following these guys and now playing against them? Would that be pretty surreal?
Oh yeah, it would be awesome. You know, watching these guys on TV every night and just having the chance to, you know, share the same ice with them would definitely be an accomplishment itself. So
that's fantastic.
Nice. So nowadays, obviously, with this whole pandemic going around, how are you kind of staying active and staying in shape and preparing for the kind of upcoming OHL season?
Yeah, my gym's still open, so I've been working out, you know, 4 days a week, and then a couple days on the ice skating. So my season got pushed back. I don't know. It was like 3 weeks ago. So I kind of just took a mental break and took a couple weeks to myself and just kind of, relaxed before I really get into the, the heavy lifting of my off season. So I took a couple weeks, and now I'm just taking a week to get right back into it. And then, just on from that till the season starts.
What was different between the offseason last year and offseason this year? Like, how different was it compared, like working out every day, or maybe diets have changed? Like, what was different between those two?
Well, besides the fact that it's about 9 months longer, but no, nothing really's changed. I'm at the same gym doing the same stuff that I've been doing for the past 3-4 years. So just trying to get stronger, faster, and cardio. That's really about it.
Makes a lot of sense.
Now let's kind of move on to a more like kind of day-to-day type discussion. We found out through your Twitter and to the t-shirt you're wearing as well that you seem to be a huge fan of the Browns. Have you kind of always been a fan of them, and how do you feel about their season so far?
Yeah, I am a huge Browns fan. Yeah. I was a fan as soon as Baker was on the team. They've had 2 pretty not good seasons, but this year they're doing well. Yeah, I'm pretty bandwagon, I guess, because only been their fan for like 3 years, but yeah, I'm loving it so far. So
I don't know if the first season that Baker was on could be really considered a bandwagon, because he didn't play as well as people speculated. But I mean, now they're doing well this year. And I gotta say, top, one of my top 3 favorite teams. I have a jersey of Odell Beckham behind me, as he's one of probably my favorite players in the NFL. Obviously, sad that he is out for the year, but the Browns, they're looking surprisingly good. Like, they're surprisingly good too.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what. I don't know what is happening right now.
I'm surprised they did well. I was surprised last year that they didn't do well. I was kind of waiting this is the season that they did it. I'm kind of like, thank God.
Kind of like that. Myles Garrett's also playing fantastic right now. Probably the defensive player of the year, which is pretty amazing. And did you go into the season thinking, oh God, it's gonna be another losing season, we're not gonna make the playoffs? Is that kind of what you went into it?
Oh no, I don't think so. Like, they have a really good team on paper, and I was just really hoping that they could, pull it all together. Like, I knew they had the players. They have like 4 number 1 options on, wide receiver. And then they got Nick Chubb, who's been, debatably one of the best running backs in the league, and Kareem Hunt. So they have 2 of the best running backs in the NFL. They definitely got the best duo. Baker's been playing pretty good. I just love his swagger. That's probably one of the reasons why I love him so much, because he just has this swagger about him that, like, regardless of what anyone says, I'm just going to go out there and do what I need to do. And, I love that about him. So.
And now that if you're a Browns fan, again, you grew up in, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, the funny thing is the one kind of thing that everyone kind of remembers about Baker Mayfield, I think, is during the World Series or was it something else? I think it was when he was in the crowd of a Cleveland Indians game, and he shot a beer just on camera for no reason.
Yeah.
And I saw that retweet you retweeted on your Twitter. I've seen that everywhere about him just straight up shotgunning a beer and then wearing his Francesco Lindor jersey in the suite.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then now, growing up in Toronto, you already said you were a Leafs fan, but are you a Jays fan, Raptors fan?
Yeah, Jays fan, Raptors fan. I wasn't really too into basketball, but the last couple seasons, I've gotten really close with one of my old friends, and he loves the Raptors. So him and I will get on. We'll hop on PS4 and play Warzone, and we'll just talk about sports, anything. So he gets really fired up about the Raptors. So I've really paid attention for him and me. So
were you a fan, or you started focusing after last year, or now, or was it last year that you started focusing on it, and then they won the championship, and then when did you start?
I think maybe I'd say like the year before they won the championship. So that'd be when I was in grade 11. Yeah, grade 11. So
that was when kind of you started just like focusing on basketball, started listening to him, and kind of just knowing all like what is happening. Because like I don't know.
Yeah. For really focusing on the NBA. Yeah.
I just can't really. I don't know because I'm not really an NBA fan. I got like there's a game on one day, like I'll watch the game. Like I grew up a Nets fan because I thought that that their name was like where I lived, and it was very very odd story of how I became a Nets fan. But now everybody thinks I'm a bandwagon because they got Kyrie and KD, which I don't know. I don't know how you can consider me a bandwagon, but it is what it is.
I kind of migrated away from the Toronto teams because I don't know. I kind of wanted to feel different, and I ended up. out of all the teams in the NBA, I became a Supersonics fan, and they don't even exist. So great.
Well, I think you're kind of a fan of everything that doesn't exist. I mean, you have 3 Thrashers jerseys, either one on you and 2 behind
you. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So Jay's also too. You've always been following baseball because you played baseball in elementary school, correct?
Yeah. Love baseball too.
Great. So now that we've kind of got through the entire kind of interview part of it, for the second time now, we are going to bring you through a kind of little segment that we have, and it's called 2-minute misconduct. Okay, that makes sense. Most hockey players would understand what that is, but it used to be 5-minute or 10-minute. I guess it's 10-minute, but 2-minute. If you don't know what that is, it means Cody has 2 minutes to answer as many random hockey questions as he possibly can. I have my phone right here to start the time. Not quite yet. Hold on. Guys, calm down. But so we're just going to take you through. I think we have about 25 questions here. I would say that you're probably not going to get through them all because they could be long answers, could be short answers, but we'll just see how many you can answer.
Sounds good.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty. Timer is on. I just got a notification. Timer is on and ready. 3, 2, 1. All right, so the first question is, do you have any pregame rituals?
No, I like to keep it really loose. That's it. My ritual is not to have a ritual.
Awesome.
So why do goalies go to a water bottle after they let in a goal? Do you kind of know that secret, or?
No, I think you'd have to ask them. I don't know. I have no idea.
If you were to say who's the worst teammate to be with on the road, either to be like in a roommate or beside each other on the bus.
Oh no, I can't say anyone. Probably one of my teammates, Dennis Busby, kind of gets under my skin.
Okay. I like that. I like how you're kind of loosen up and telling people. I like that. I like that. Who's got the best hair?
What do you think is the
me? Definitely me. No doubt.
All right.
That was immediate. So where do you think is kind of the best food stop on the road to a game?
Food stop? I don't know. I don't know. Like post game would be pizza. Like when we get pizza after the game is like the best. After a win, you can get on the bus and grab a slice of pizza. It's the best. Which
teammate's the best at video games?
Well, he was my teammate last year, Jake Durham. Definitely one of the best.
It's okay. If he's a future teammate, then that's fine. We'll take literally anybody.
Sounds good.
All right, we are on the final 20 seconds.
Who do you think is the funniest teammate?
Oh, I've had a couple. Jack Phibbs, Jake Durham, Dennis Busby's really funny. We had a really funny team this year. So.
And now for probably the final question. Well, actually, we'll do 2 more questions. We'll do one for me, one for Matthew. For my question is who is the best chirper or trash talker on your team?
Oh, Jake Durham. No doubt in my mind. I've heard him, roast some guys pretty good that they're just like, yeah, he got me.
Now, without kind of splurging a lot of words that could be said, what is the best chirp you've ever heard him or as he told you about?
I don't know. There's one guy that had his jersey tucked in and he told him to untuck it and then called him a schmelt. And then he was like, untuck your jersey. And then the guy turned around and he's like, oh, so you can see my last name? And he's like, your last name's at the top, buddy. Which was pretty good. Not even good. It was just such good timing that I was just like, oh.
It was good timing, and it just proving the guy wrong and proving him that he's kind of not in the moment at the. Yeah. Okay, so last question for Matthew, just so we have like an even amount.
So what do you think? Yeah, what do you think is kind of the best road arena you've ever played in?
Oh, London for sure. London would be the best.
That's amazing, and again, thank you so much for joining us, and we much appreciate having another Flint Firebird on our podcast, and we hope to see you out on the ice soon, whether that be through TV or we're in the arena. Hopefully not during this whole pandemic, but that we thank you so much for coming on and taking the time to join us.
Well, thanks guys, appreciate it.